What is up, YouTube? That's here. Today I'm back playing more Pokemon VGC 2023 content made exclusively for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We are using Trick Room today. I've said it for a while. I wanted to show you guys a really cool Trick Room team that plays Trick Room the way that I like to play Trick Room. This team I made with one of my Patreons in a max tier coaching session. And I want to say, if you guys have teams you want me to fix, take a look at, use live on stream, change all the EVs around so they actually work in the situations that you should be using them in, think about checking out the Patreon. Even the lowest tier, you can submit teams. The team submission post is open on Patreon. Once a month, I go through and I fix a bunch of the teams that are submitted. Hopefully, we can get to all of them. Usually, there's about 50, but we do it live on stream, and it's a great way to get a second set of eyes, my eyes, on your teams to fix the things that you guys might be struggling with. So think about checking out the Patreon if that at all interests you, or if you have questions about it, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this team is a team that I made with one of my Patrons in a max tier coaching sessions where I provide one-on-one, customer support and teach you guys how to build teams from scratch. And it's a Trick Room team. And I do think Trick Room is a really good team right now, but like 99.9% of the Trick Room teams in the meta are way too reactive. They use like the Far Giraffe and like a Redirection Mon, and they just lose to Imprison. And they're like, well, I could pair it with like a Fake Out next to my Trick Room Mon, and I could Fake Out their Imprison Mon or taunt their Imprison Mon. But then the Imprison Mon like uses a Mental Herb, or the Imprison Mon Terras to Ghost, or the Imprison Mon does this. And so I wanted to make a Trick Room team that could beat basically any Imprison Mon. So what I decided to do for this team was go with After You on a 111 base speed mouse hold, and I could pair that next to Hatterene or Bronzong, two very different Trick Room setters that have very different defensive typing. And so what I wanted to do was be able to After You over things like Gardevoir, things like Drifblim, things like Gengar, and other mons that would normally imprison that Trick Room or faster speed than them. So I can use After You, immediately use Trick Room, and then they imprison, but the Trick Room's already active. It's almost like using a pseudo priority Trick Room. And then after that, once Trick Room's up, you can go for things like Feints, you can then go for Follow Me's, open up a spot to bring out things like Torkoal, or even Weakness Policy Quagsire. So this is a really cool Trick Room team. Hopefully it works today. I made this team about a week ago, like I said, and I think it's great. I think in terms of like Trick Room teams, like hard Trick Room, it's a little bit more complicated trying to, dot your T's and cross your I's and stuff like that, but actually it's dot your I's and cross your T's, right? You know what I mean. Anyways, this team's a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of really unique Terra types in here. Yes, the Torkoal and the Serena still stay with their base Terra, but the Clodsire can go Terra Fire to hit things like Corviknights. The Hatterene goes Terra Ghost to avoid Fake Outs. The Mousehold and the Bronzong go Terra Dark to avoid things like Prankster Taunt. So like we're really safe on the defensive side with these Terras, and hopefully you guys like this team. Again, the last thing before we get into it, if you guys want me to take a look at your teams, think about checking out the Patreon. And without further ado, let's hop right into these games. Wish me luck. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Palafin. I wonder how much I care. This looks like a great matchup for Torkoal. Like, the Trick Room just goes up and there's nothing they can do about it. They don't have any Fake Outs. They can Imprison Guard, which is probably what they're going to do. So I'm going to show you guys a really cool way to play around Imprison Gardevoir. Let's see. Do we want to go Bronzong or Hat this game? I think the Hat's probably just a little bit better. Bronzong's like obviously bulkier in case they want to lead with like Blizzard spam, but I think Hat's just a little bit safer. I think we also should have Ghost Terra here to be able to avoid Arcanine. Good, we do have the Ghost Terra to be able to avoid like Arcanine E-Speed. So we're going to go Hat, and we're going to go Mouse Hold. So yeah, go Hat, Mouse Hold. Definitely still winning the Torkoal. And I think in this case scenario, I don't think we need Serena. I think the Clodsire is probably okay. Being able to like EQ a couple of those, Rock Slide the others, being able to also Terra Fire here is really nice versus the King Gambit. So I think Claude is the way to go. And let's see if they lead with the Imprison Guard. Now, I think that Trick Room is a really cool team, but the reason you guys haven't seen me use that much Trick Room is because I feel that Trick Room is way too reactive. All it takes is like an Imprison Mon, and you just can't really play the game. So what we're going to do is show you guys a really cool lead that stops Imprison Guard. I made a few teams that used Imprison Guard. I think it's really good. Those Gardevoir and Titan, they think they're so safe here. They're going to Imprison Guard. They're going to do stuff with Titan. Another reason why you want to use Hatterene here as your other setter is because it's immune to things like Yawn and other stuff like that, whereas Bronzong will be really susceptible and not have nearly as much power. Now, you could also say, why don't you just Population Bomb the Gardevoir? Well, if Gardevoir goes Ghost Terra, which is what my Gardevoir would do in this situation, you block the population bomb. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you guys a cool trick. We're going to click Trick Room, and you're thinking, that's it, don't click Trick Room. Like, you can get hit with the Imprison, and I think that we're still absolutely fine. I'm thinking if there's a reason to go Ghost Terra here, I don't feel a reason to just yet. So yeah, we're going to go Trick Room here. And then we're going to use After You. After You says this helps the target and make it use its move right after the user, which is from base 111 speed for the mouse hold. So we're going to use After You, then Trick Room, then they're going to Imprison. And hopefully they take the kill on the mouse hold this turn. There's the Trick Room. It's almost like a priority Trick Room. It gets around that negative priority. And Superpower? Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Match made in heaven. Show me that Imprison. Show it to me. Show me the Imprison. Show it to me, buddy. Oh, they just hard Trick Room. Dude, no! Oh, we had such a cool tech and they didn't even Imprison. Oh, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. Dude, we almost had it. That was so sick, though. It's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to think. Like, I can probably just continue to click Trick Room for a while. I think what we're going to do is go Torkoal here, and then we're going to see if they pivot out. That was almost the coolest thing. Like, it gets around it so well. But, like, yeah, we're just going to click Trick Room again. I'm not under any stress to do anything different, I don't think. And remember, we can always go Fire Terror to melt those things with our Claw in the back. And we're actually pivoting the Torkoal out because we're baiting them to switch in the Abomasnow. There's the Abomasnow. Oh, Arcanine. Absolutely fine. Claw's great here, too. Clodsire is wonderful here as well. I wonder what they're doing against the hat, though. Can't believe they didn't go, like, Ghost Terra Imprison, dude. That's so ballsy. Like, what if I just attacked them? There's the Psychic. Awesome. So the Torkoal is used as perfect bait there. Yes, Clodsire is going to come and take a lot of damage, but it's activating the weakness policy, and we get the Trick Room up. Do you see, like, how valuable this is? So valuable. Cool. So use Torkoal as the bait there. And now that the Trick Room's up, all we have to do is cover up the Gardevoir slot. So in this case scenario, the Arcanine is Intimidate. I kind of want to save my Terra for Fire on... Now, we should probably just do this. Like, I really don't want to have that Arcanine E-speed out my Claude. Because, like, if they do that and then Trick Room back, I'll lose. No reason to Terra here. Let's just go after the Arcanine and just go for, like, a standard Rock Slide, I think. There's nothing really wrong with that. We need to break Sash on guard if it is Sash. Pivot out Arcanine. Okay. For Abomasnow. So they're just going to lose this thing. They should be Trick Rooming right back. They really should be, like, Trick Rooming me back. But what's the other one to play it? They have to work through the flinch, too. That's the thing. Awesome. And we should be able to kill the Abomasnow with the Rock Slide here. Survey says hit on both. We got any flinch? Any flinch? No. Oh well. Now, what we're going to do here is a little bit different. They're going to send something out and try and check my hat, and they're going to Trick Room again, but this time we're not going to Trick Room. And they're going to Trick Room for us, and then we're going to win the game. Thanks for the Trick Room. Take a sip of my way too hot coffee while you do this for us. Because you have to Trick Room here. Because you know I want to Trick Room. And you know you can't one-shot me. Oh, this coffee's way too hot. And we actually still have really good outs next turn. We can always, like, switch out the Clodsire next turn for Torkoal, set the Sun. Like, I think we're okay here. But I'd like to be able to keep my my Clodsire alive. Show me Trick Room, buddy. Ice Spinner block into the hat. I want to see what they're using, and they should just be Trick Rooming. Come on, come on. Psychic. Ah, almost. Okay, cool. So this means that we actually just can Trick Room, though. Because, like, if this is your out, we just fodder Claude. Like, just go for a Trick Room here. And we actually still want to double target with... we still want a Rock Slide here, I think. That's the right play. Because you can't one-shot my hat with Ice Spinner. They probably think that they can, and if they double up into the hat, they're going to take way too much damage on the, yeah. Double up into... Alright, there's the hat damage. Yeah, we're absolutely fine. And there's a Dazzling Gleam. Shouldn't get the KO. Yep. 1 HP hat. And the quad holds. Like, can you see this value? This absolute value. Sasha's up, dude. Absolute value. Yeah, now we just D-Gleam. And, like, realistically... Yes, you still Rock Slide, but I really hope I don't miss my Rock Slide as a Titan. And the reason why we Rock Slide here is in case Arcanine pivots. There's the Arcanine pivot. Cool. Cool, yeah, Trick Room's up, though, for all the rest of the game. Like, Torkoal can, when we haven't blown our Terra yet, like, we're in a good spot here. Should be able to take out this Titan. Cool, it protects. Awesome. And all we gotta do is hit the Rock Slide. Yo, Claude. Oh, he's alive! Thanks to the Intimidate. A good play. No matter who he takes out, Torkoal wins the game. So, no matter who he takes out. Yeah, that Titan has that Ice defense boost. Ice Spinner. Taking out Claude. That's actually really good for us, that they went after this one, because Hat can still Terra into Ghost to block E-Speed, which is kind of nice. I think we're just going to Terra Fire, though, and double dip the Fire Terra on our Torkoal. Looks like we're going to win. So, you know, I wish that they went for the Imprison. Like, I was feeling that Imprison on guard so hard. It's so weird to just see them have Trick Room. When teams, you can also see, like, when teams just, their answer to Trick Room is just Trick Rooming Trick Room. If it's on sweepers like guard, it doesn't really work nearly as well, at least in my opinion. Just because, like, I can always weave it back in somehow, and then if you're always having to Trick Room after I Trick Room, you're always, like, reacting to what I'm doing, and if I'm the reactive team setting play, your aggressive mons are on the back foot in that situation. So we should be able to get the double KO here off just this Eruption, realistically. This is going to be a Specs Sun boosted Fire Terra big Eruption. Massive Eruption. How many protection you got? Any E-Speeds? You got nothing. So yeah, you can see how the team, though, is really, really good if they do go for that Imprison attack. I really, really wish that they did. Like, I feel that that would have been such a cool little highlight to have. Because that's how the team's flowcharted to work. It's basically made to bait things like Fake Outs, bait things like Imprisons, bait things like Taunts, and just like massively punish those. Get Trick 'em up at the first turn, and then open up a spot for like Clodsire and, you know, Hatterene and Torkoal to sweep. While also having them respect, like, Follow Me Trick Room, which is still really, really good. Trace the Drought, dude. Taste the power of the sun. Eruption, and we take those wins up. Undefeated Trick Room. Which is hard to do, because, you know, Imprison exists. I'm going to do it again. I really think that this is the play here. I really do think that they're going to try to Imprison. And if they don't try to Imprison, yes, they can use, like, Ghost Mons to really punish these guys, but the reason why we're using these two setters is because they force our opponent to use Ghost Mons, and then we just pair it with a normal Mon that could potentially use Follow Me. So again, I do think Hat is really good here. It can pin things like the Annihilate, the Dragapult. It's just really, really good. And Mousehold's great. They're going to KO the Mousehold, open up the way for Torkoal, and they don't have that many good switch-ins for Torkoal. I think, again, Clodsire is really another solid option, because the things that would wall things like Torkoal, like fire types, like Talonflame, they take really big damage from Clodsire's Rock Slide. So I think this is correct, and hopefully they show us that Imprison. Like, I would love to see Garchomp, Gardevoir. Like, oof. Especially if they, like, Terra. If they Terra ground and go for the play, like, yes, please. That would be sick. And let's see what they do. Gardevoir Annihilate. Okay, so they have potential for... I think they're still going to Imprison, right? Would you still Imprison here? Probably. I would still probably Imprison if I was them. So I'll try the combo. And if they actually lose them on the first turn, they are big behind. So we're going to go for the... Like, I feel like after you makes it so we just... Like, if we go Follow Me and they go for the final Gambit, we just get messed up. Like, they just get their Imprison off. And then they bring out, like, Garchomp. So we'll go for the After You. Sorry, yeah, go for the After You. Go for the Trick Room. I'm assuming that they're Scarfed. They're pivoting. Okay, so there's nothing stopping this Trick Room. It goes off. 100% this is happening. They think we're population bombing, which is completely fine. Final Gambit into any of these. It doesn't matter. Sasha's up. This is great. This is absolutely magnifique. It's a KO and on our Trick Room turn. That's sick. Now let's think about what we need to do in this situation. There's the after you. Like, it doesn't really matter. They were scarfed. So, yeah, that works. Trick Room's up. So all we need to do is stop Trick Room for 1 turn, and we're probably fine. Now, we could use things like Feint here to break Protects if we're really, really afraid of Protects. I think what we're going to do is just Population Bomb the Gardevoir just to make sure it goes away. Yes, we're faster than they are, but like a mixture of like Population Bomb and Dazzling Gleam should make it so they shouldn't at least be able to reverse our Trick Room. So let's do that. And let me just make sure we have normal or Ghost here too. That's so cool because we can avoid all like different sorts of like fake outs by doing stuff like that. We're not tearing though, just standard play. So you can protect. Yep, Dazzling, good damage. So breaks potential Sash. Big damage. Our Garchomp puts it within range for yep, they're just gonna EQ. Remember, their Gardevoir is gonna be fine here, but we'll see what happens. Like, as long as Mouse Hold, well, even if like, yeah, if they try and trick room here, we KO, right? And if they try to, yeah, they're trying to trick room us back. It's not gonna work because we got the Population Bomb. They would have had the Terra Ghost there to do that. And even if they did do that, we still have good mons in the back. Like, we can still Terra our Quag. You know, Torkoal's still pretty good. Garchomp's getting a little bit weak. And we're great here. We're absolutely fine. So if they would have just attacked us, Trick Room would have still been up. And if they would have tried to Trick Room, which they did right there, we still have the KO. So pretty good stuff. Dragapult's a great mon, but we're in a really, really okay spot here. I think what we're going to do is just go for the double dip Fire Terra, and we're going to go for a Feint to the Garchomp to punish it if it tries to go for Protect. So double dip that Fire Terra, and Feint allows us to make it so they can't wait our Trick Room turns. Show me that Protect Garchomp, buddy. Show it to me. Show it to me. Show me. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to believe it. And so I love this like potential follow me coverage that Mouse Hold gives this team. It's so nice. Normal redirection is so valuable for this team. They can definitely still protect the Dragapult. You know, we can't go for the Feint into that slot unless they tear it into something else. But I can go into the Garchomp slot and get that guy off the board. Big Torkoal energy out here. Love this squad. Show me the Protect Garchomp. Oh my goodness, buddy. Buddy bro, Buster Brown. Not today. And now it's going to be single target damage into that Dragapult. It's like, this team's flowcharts are so good. I would know. I made them. Let's see if it's Sash Pult. It's going to have to be. Bruh. That's so much damage, dude. Like, this is how you play TR. This right here. That's what we like to see. That team does not have that many ways to stop TR. That could be like Iron Ball Amoonguss, or like Amoonguss with an item that drops its speed. It could be Trick Room of Trick Room on Masquerada. I think more realistically, their plan is to just nuke the TR setter using a mixture of like Garchomp, maybe like Flying Goldango or stuff like that, like EQ Discharge. I think in this case scenario, that means that we should probably be going with a Bronzong strat for this one. And so if we're going to be using Bronzong here, let's see. Like, the thing is, we can still definitely go like Bronzong Mouse Hold, but we can also go like Bronzong Claude and just go like Protect Claude and just like next turn like a Bulldoze play, but that loses if they lead a Moongus. So I think you still need to bring the Mouse Hold. But I do think the Bronzong is the right play because Bronzong is the thing that basically says like your opponent can't just EQ us to death or make it rain. That Bronzong's very, very good defensive typing. I think that Hatterene's still very good, especially as Sashmon here, great against Masquerada, great against Baxcalibur, Garchomp, and then last but not least Torkoal. So we're just not going to bring Claude here. Sad. I cry every time. I cry every time I don't get to bring Claude, but like, you don't really need it. I also really do like about the Claude that it's a Fire Terra with Terra Blast, so like it can totally dumpster so many different things like Goldango with big single target Terra Blasts. And because we're weakness policy, we can get our Bulldoze to policy proc on the, what is it? We can policy proc while we're Poison Ground or while we're Fire Terra. It's really, really cool. So they're going to go like Make It Rain, I'm assuming. They're going to go Make It Rain, and I don't know if the bird gets Taunt. But like, I'm not that afraid. I'm not afraid. We can outspeed the Goldango if we go after you here. I think you just go follow me. Like, I'm not afraid here. And I want you to KO the Mouse Hold so I can bring out Torkoal. So like, follow me Trick Room seems really, really good. And then just bring out Torkoal. And we'll go for like a Gyro Ball. Because we want to be able to we want to be able to break the Sash on that thing if we can. So Discharge, hit your old Goldango, that's completely fine with me. Are you fishing for Para? You are Yeah, this is absolutely fine. So get that stat drop right there. If they want to pivot out that Goldango, they're going to be in for a bad time because anything that comes in does not want to mess with this Torkoal damage. So Trick Room is up. Pretty good Trick Room up. They're fishing for pair on Bronzong, and we were absolutely fine. We have a Covert Cloak. I think that would also protect us from like the secondary effects of pair on the discharge, but it is what it is. I think, like I was talking about, we're going to go for a Eruption, obviously. We're going to double dip that Fire Terra, and we're just going to go Gyro Ball into the Kilowatt, so they can't be like sashed to be able to do something weird. So right here, big Fire Terra Eruption. Should be able to get a double KO this turn. Yes, you can be protecting and doing a couple other things like that. I don't think that you'll be able to correctly wait out this Trick Room. And we also have a secondary Trick Room setter in the back. We can also re-Trick Room again with Bronzong if you don't ever take it out. So let's go. Big Specs Torkoal energy right here. My boy. Like, even if you were to, like, Terra Water or something like that, you'd still probably get killed. Those guys are pretty frail. There's the Eruption. I don't even need the Gyro. Probably. Let's see if it's sashed. And that's one of the reasons why we have, like, that's the reason we have the Gyro here. Because it's just a good move against, like, mons that would normally give us pressure, like, threaten us. And we don't always want to go for, like, Helping Hands and things like that. Like, Helping Hand's a cool move, but you got to be able to finish these sash mons off. It really speeds up the Trick Room. Like, imagine if, like, they soaked that damage, and Bronzong wasn't attacking the next turn, like, they weaved into Protect. Imagine if they used, like, 2 Protects, and then soaked the Sash. Like, they wait out our whole Trick Room just with 1 Mon. So having those little potential chances to deal some chip damage to break Sashes is very important. Baxcaliber's going to get O-Code. Gyro Ball's great there. And Amoonguss. So Amoonguss can underspeed our Torkoal if they're speed reduced with, like, an Iron Ball. There's not that much we can really do about that. We're going to click the Eruption. But we're also going to be clicking the Gyro Ball. And so the way this is going to work is if you spoil the Torkoal, you're probably going to get one-shotted by the Gyro Ball. And if you go for like a Rage Powder or something, we just win with Eruption. So unless you're like a Water Terra on that thing, and even if that's the case, we have Sash Hatterene in the back. I think Water Terra Baxcalibur is pretty common. Grass Terra, bro. I do not know about that one, Chief. I mean, you're not taking super effective damage from my Gyro Ball anymore, but like, bro, this Torkoal goes off, you lose. There it is, the Spore. So that is a speed-reduced nature Iron Ball Amoonguss. Like, good tech. Good tech. Like, I used it on a lot of my teams that have bad TR matchups as well. It's totally, completely, 100% fine. Like, Hatterene's still a really good mon here. So they're going to Spore into the hat slot right here. They're going to Spore into the Bronzong slot. Let me think about what I need to be doing in this exact situation. Torkoal is hot garbage here, but we can save it to overheat outside of Trick Room. Do I care if Bronzong gets put to sleep? I don't think that I do. We pivot in the hat to block the Glaive Rush, and I think the play that we do here is just keep Gyro Balling away. They're orbed. They're going to take double damage this turn. They're going to Spore that slot, but hopefully we can block the Glaive Rush. Or if you Spore into that slot for some reason, like, it's absolutely fine. You have Spore in the Bronzong, it's okay. And what move are you using with Baxcalibur? Really important here. There's no reason to stand and use Eruption there either. Absolutely none. Glaive Rush blocked. Yes, cool. That's the power of that. Alright, so there's still one more turn Trick Room, right? Last turn Trick Room. I think we're actually fine to just go for, like, Psychic on Baxcalibur because we're not affected by Spores at all. Or, like, anything like that. And it doesn't really matter. Actually, we can just go for a Helping Hand just to make sure. Well, it doesn't really matter what we use with Bronzong. It has to be a Sleep here. But I think this is going to do a lot. Protect's absolutely fine. You can go for, like, what is it? You can go for Clear Smog? Foul Play? That's fine. Psychic blocked. We don't need to go after the Amoonguss because we can just bring out Torkoal and eventually probably, like, we still have to wake up, but, like, I think we'll eventually be able to wake up. And I don't know if, like, how much damage they would really deal to Bronzong either. We don't need to max to do anything crazy. We can just go for a Protect. It's technically the right play to go for, like, a second Trick Room here. If we can get that off, that'd be great. Because then we can just go right back into the Baxcalibur. So Protect here, there's no reason not to. Fish for turns for Bronzong to wake up. Red Powder's completely fine. And Ice Shard. Macaroni. Do we wake up with Bronzong or not? Yes, cool. Trick Room's back up. Now let's think about what we want to do on this Amoonguss. Like, how much do I care about Amoonguss? Don't care. I think it's actually really fine to just double into that slot and hard switch in Torkoal this turn. So if you protect with Bax Caliber, you protect with Bax Caliber. If you go Rage Powder, I think that's also fine. Because you're going to take a big Psychic if you do that. There's a Protect. Hey, Protect Foul Play is totally, totally fine. Protect Spore is also fine. Foul Play, it's cool. We don't take that much damage at all. And so now you're going to go for the Rage Powder, right? But now my Torkoal's in to potentially start waking up with stuff. So we're wasting those turns right here. Again, we just do the exact same play. And this time we're going to be using Overheat instead of Eruption. Double target the same slot. There's the Rage Powder, so we're going to go Psychic into that slot. I don't think we get the KO, but remember, that thing's orbed over there. The Bax Caliber. Torkoal's asleep, never lucky. Would have been nice to wake up there. Let's see how much damage we actually deal with Hat. Almost enough to KO, cool. And there's the EQ. He just KOs his own Amoonguss, and then Hatterene's still alive and we win. Cool. Cool beans. Yeah, it's going to be it. Torkoal faints, but like at this point, we can just come back in with Bronzong and double up into it. We can even read them protecting this turn if this was like the second last turn of TR and like Trick Room our own Trick Room. It'd be like the coolest thing ever. But I don't think they have any moves that can hit both Hatterene. And you can see the duality of both of our setters in this situation. Bronzong immune to those those ground attacks. Hatterene immune to those dragon attacks. And there's no moves like common that can combine that can actually hit both these guys really, really well. Yeah, 2 turns on Trick Room. If we're reading the Protect, we could just go Trick Room of Trick Room, so we can reset a Trick Room and reapply a Trick Room. I kind of want to go for it, but I don't want to throw. Yeah, we just do this. If you Protect, that's fine. You have to hit a double Protect. You have a shot at winning this one. You have to hit a double Protect. So if we really wanted to be like flexing on this guy, we could have Trick Roomed and got a whole new fresh 5-turn Trick Room by having both of our mons Trick Room in this situation. But what we're basically going to do is we're going to go, again, double attack with Psychic and Gyro Ball. And if you get to double Protect, next turn we'll just Protect with Hatterene. Trick Room with Bronzong, who's still more than healthy enough to be able to wall Bax Caliber. But he has to hit a double Protect to even think that he can get away with this. Survey says, oh, he didn't even try. See, you're not even like, it's easy peasy. Easy peasy. And we already know that he has a Life Orb, so there's no like worry of like Citrus Berry or like Pinch Berry or something like that. So we'll take those wins. 3 Trick Room wins. That was a little bit harder. But the Trick Room always goes up with this team. That's the cool thing about it. The Trick Room always goes up if you know exactly what you're doing. And yeah, try this team out for yourself. Let me know what you think. And thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. Check out the official team submission post. If there's a team that you have that you want me to provide feedback on, fix, show a little bit of how like EV training works, picking the right Pokemon with the right defensive and offensive coverage for each matchup, think about sending one of those PokePaste or rental code my way on Patreon. I'll hear your teams live on stream. I'll give all the feedback that I can on how I would fix it, and I'll give the team back. And hopefully that helps people. Hopefully people, I mean, people usually like it. We usually get about 50 plus submissions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have teams you want me to check out, let me know on Patreon. Other than that, peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.